This isn't just a story. It's the chilling truth of a boy named Puek. His life was shaped by crime and humiliation, leading to an act of violence that landed him in jail. He thought it was his punishment, but the real game was just beginning. A constant fight to survive. The movie starts by introducing Puek, a boy raised among criminals and drug dealers. His mother sold drugs to make ends meet, which made him an outcast at school. When she was caught and sentenced to 24 years in prison, Puek was left an orphan. One day, at a local shop, a man insults his mother, calling her a whore. Puek's anger flares, and though his girlfriend Pa tries to stop him, the man's vile comments about her push Puek over the edge. In a fit of rage, he shoots the man. Puek is then shown in an interrogation room, being brutally beaten by a police officer. Because he's under 18, he isn't sent to a maximum security prison. Instead, he's put in a youth detention center for reform. But this place is just as bad as a real prison, a brutal hierarchy where the strong prey on the weak. Puek arrives with another boy, Fluke, who was caught selling drugs. The warden, seeing no fear in Puek's eyes, decides to make an example of him. He warns Puek, "I don't care where you came from, but if you look at me the wrong way, I'll make your life hell." They are taken to a changing room where another inmate, Beer, is told to straighten them out. Beer, full of pride, promises the warden that by the time they're done, the new kids will be begging for mercy. Beer forces Puek to strip, mocks him, and then shaves both boys' heads. This is just the beginning of their living nightmare. The detention center is overcrowded, and everyone is crammed into one cell. At night, Beer signals his gang. They approach Fluke and force him to come with them. Puek refuses to go, so they drag Fluke to Beer. Fluke begs for mercy, but no one helps him. Beer gives him two options: become his property or be a plaything for every man there. Terrified, Fluke gives in. Meanwhile, Beer's gang turns on Puek, kicking and punching him until he's unconscious. The next morning, Puek struggles to get up and heads to the cafeteria. The detention center is divided into blocks, each with its own leader. Gus, the leader of a rival block, is told about Puek, and one of his men suggests they recruit him. When Puek reaches the counter, the cook tells him there's no food left. He's willing to eat the burnt scraps at the bottom of the pot, but when the cook tries to dump it on the floor, Puek grabs his hand. The cook scoffs, "You have to pay the price for being a troublemaker." Beer then walks up, knocks the food out of Puek's hands, and stomps on it. Everyone expects Puek to fight back, but he simply kneels down and eats the scraps off the floor. Gus, watching from a distance, understands Puek's move. He did the right thing. If he doesn't eat, he'll die of hunger. Later, during shower time, Beer and his gang surround Puek. Beer demands a fee for using the showers. When Puek refuses to kneel, they force him. The gang's rule is that he has to take 5 kicks. After Beer delivers the first one, he forces Fluke to kick Puek. Fluke reluctantly complies but delivers a light kick. Beer, enraged, orders his men to beat Puek brutally, leaving him for dead. A flashback shows a young Puek boxing to earn money. His mother asks why he does it, and he explains he doesn't want to live off the money she makes from selling drugs. Back in the present, the warden finds Puek and tells him to be up in 5 minutes. Fluke, waiting outside, apologizes to Puek and offers him an orange. They finally learn each other's names. The warden tells Beer that he's becoming a problem. When Beer sees Fluke with Puek, he's furious. The warden gives him a deadline. "Do what you have to do before my cigarette is out." Beer starts beating Fluke while everyone watches. Puek, seeing his friend being attacked, jumps in and challenges Beer. "Fight me like a man!" He kicks one of Beer's men so hard he passes out. Golf, a member of Gus's gang, intervenes and suggests they stop. Gus arrives and confronts Beer. After a tense standoff, Beer agrees to give up one of the boys. Golf chooses Puek, making him a member of their gang and untouchable by others. That night, Gus sees Puek can't sleep. Puek asks why he saved him, but left Fluke with those monsters. Gus explains that Puek is different. He's not a pushover. Fluke will survive by doing whatever he's told, but Puek would have lasted a week. Gus gives Puek a wooden knife he carved himself, telling him to use it if he needs to. Puek sleeps peacefully, while Fluke is beaten all night as punishment for trying to help him. The next morning, the guards bring the inmates outside. Golf finds Puck still asleep and tries to wake him. For a moment, he fears Puck is dead. But Puck suddenly wakes up and puts the knife to Golf's throat, having forgotten where he was. Puck's life slowly improves within Gus's block. He's happier, gets enough to eat, and his health recovers. Fluke, however, is not so lucky. Beer's gang torments him daily, and he seems close to breaking. Puck gets a visit from Pa. He's briefly happy until she delivers devastating news. His mother has died in prison. Puck breaks down, and Pa tells him she came to inform him that the funeral is over and that she won't be visiting him anymore. Puck begs her not to leave, but she walks away without looking back. Around the same time, Gus's father visits him, revealing he has a school and a job lined up for him. Gus, who has been in the detention center for over 10 years, is excited to start a new life. But his anger flares when he learns his father is still with his stepmother. He leaves the meeting without a word. Puck is still grieving when he sees Beer's gang attacking Golf. He jumps in to help, but the warden breaks it up. The tension between the two blocks is at a breaking point. Gus warns Beer to back off, but this is exactly what Beer wants: a gang war to prove who's stronger. That night, Beer's gang approaches Fluke. Beer tells them, "I don't need him anymore. Do whatever you want with him." Fluke tries to fight back, but they overpower him and brutally assault him. Fluke screams for help, but no one, not even the warden, comes to his aid. He lies on the stairs, a broken man, when he overhears Beer's gang planning to crush razor blades into powder and put them in Puck's food the next day. The next day, the cook helps them carry out the plan. Since Gus's group shares their food, it's not certain who will get the poisoned meal. Beer doesn't care who dies, as long as someone does. The razor blade-laced food ends up in Puck's bowl, but before he can eat it, Fluke grabs the food and swallows it all. The blades slice through his throat and stomach, and he writhes in agony. Puck tries to help, but Gus stops him, explaining that there's nothing they can do to save him, and that he'll only cause him more pain. Fluke's death ignites the full-blown gang war between the two blocks. Gus and Beer's gangs meet in the yard the next day while the guards are busy. Gus waits for Beer, but when he doesn't show, he thinks he chickened out. Then Beer's gang appears, and a massive fight breaks out. Gus attacks Beer, but his blade doesn't penetrate. Beer reveals he's wearing something underneath his shirt and stabs Gus multiple times. Alarms blare, and the warden breaks up the fight, beating everyone with a stick. No one admits who started it. Back in the cell, Puck sees Gus sleeping with a blanket on, despite the heat. He finds Gus has a high fever and realizes he's been stabbed with a sharp object. Golf tries to pull it out, but Gus screams in pain. Puck cries for help, but the guards ignore him. Gus, knowing he doesn't have much time, tells Puck, "These people are just like us. They don't have a home or a family. After I'm gone, they're all on you. Take care of them." Gus dies that night, and his death leaves a somber silence in the block. Gus's father is devastated, having waited 10 years for his son's release, only for him to be killed just days before. He and Puck try to kill Beer, but they get caught. Beer gives Puck a choice. "If you want to kill me, you'll have to fight me." He's confident Puck won't have the guts, but Puck accepts the challenge. Golf sets the fight for the next day, telling Beer that if Puck loses, he can kill him too. That evening, Puck sharpens his blade. He tells Golf that he feels like he's going to die because he misses his mom. Golf tells him not to overthink it. "You're going to die one way or another." The next day, everyone gathers in the bathroom for the fight. Golf tells Beer to take off his shirt, knowing he cheated before. Beer asks, "Did Gus's ghost tell you that?" The fight begins, and Beer immediately attacks. Puck, terrified, tries to fight back, but he's no match for Beer. He realizes his fear is getting the better of him. He steps back, remembering his boxing days, how he used his mind before his hands. The moment Beer lets his guard down, Puck lunges and stabs him in the leg. As Beer falls, Puck stabs him repeatedly in the stomach. When Beer's friend tries to intervene, Golf shoves him back. Puck then strangles Beer to death. The guards arrive and force everyone back to their cells. The warden, angry, beats Puck and Golf, scolding them for not valuing their own lives. He then locks them in a cell. Golf reassures Puck, "Don't think too much about it. "We didn't do anything wrong. Life is going to be easier here now that he's gone." The next morning, Golf wakes up to find Puck has been staring out the window all night. Later, the warden returns with a change in attitude, bringing them a delicious meal. He tells them if they want to keep eating well, they have to leave, as their lives won't get better there. He takes them outside and reveals they are being transferred to different prisons, places where life is much better. Puck and Golf thank the warden. As they are loaded into separate vehicles, they look at each other one last time, silently saying goodbye. Puck learned a lot about life there, but now he has to face his sentence alone. The warden gave them hope that their lives would be better in their new prisons, but only time will tell.